Welcome to the Reuters Insider Crop Report, an on-the-ground look at the weather and crops in key parts of the world. Today we head to Russia, about 60 kilometers east of the city of Kursk, in the Black Earth region, where 13 to 14% of this year's grain harvest is likely to be produced, up from 9% last year. The region, one of Russia's top 3 wheat-producing areas, was ravaged by last year's fires and drought, the worst to hit Russia in over a century. This year's not quite as dramatic, but it has had serious problems with drought, while it has only rained once since winter. Ruski Dom is a local company that owns 7 farms in the Kursk region. Chief agronomist Sergei Alipov told us that this has been the most difficult year he's seen in his 20 years of farming, as he copes with half the usual rainfall.
Несмотря на то, что пшеница явно отстает.
Wheat is clearly below average, with the vegetative mass quite small. The norm for this sort would be 1 metre to 1 metre 20 high, but today we see it's just 50 centimetres. And despite all this, a wheat ear is quite heavy.
Соломина 50 сантиметров, но колос растение сформировало увесистый.
The wheat is weak after frosts in February and March, which has made it more susceptible to damage from the lack of rain and low humidity levels in the soil. The little rain that fell in the middle of June has proved vital.
The
weather in the Black Earth region is satisfactory. On June 18th, there were low humidity reserves in the soil in 3 districts in the Kursk region and in the Lipetsk region. I have a map here you can look. It's all red here in the Kursk region, the Lipetsk region and the Tambov region and in many other regions. But then the rains came after June 18th. They were small but managed to change the situation.
Они хоть были небольшие, но обстановка изменилась. Увеличилась влажность воздуха, и все-таки дожди благоприятствовали.
This rain tempered the drought enough to get harvests back on track. At another of Ruski Dom's farms, chief farmer Yuri Khramtsev is responsible for 2,000 hectares of wheat. He is expecting to harvest 4 tons per hectare this year, which falls within their average of 3 to 4.7 tons.
Весна в целом этого года уже для развития озимых была благоприятна.
This year's spring for the winter crops was more favorable. We didn't have any high temperatures, we had some humidity in the soil, so plants could find at least some strength to start to grow. But then we hit another extremely unfavorable phase with a long dry period when plants especially needed a lot of water to grow. We had a bit of rain though, which helped this situation just a bit.
Significantly. From 1990 to now, roughly 3 billion. For the next 5 years, roughly 3 billion.
Are you concerned by the global economy slowing down? Will it have any impact on consumer demand and your business in particular?
Look, there's no question it's the consumer is somewhat mixed out there. There's a lot of confusion. There's not sufficient amount of clarity out there in the world economy. But we are blessed in that we're in a business where we actually provide moments of pleasure at cents at a time, billions of times every day, and hence we are able to continue to grow in this difficult environment today, and we intend to continue to grow.
So where will the growth come from? So how will you ensure that growth?
They represent all the growth of the future, because the word emerging means they're just emerging, and typically when GDP grows, GDP per capita grows, consumption of our products grows with it. So to me, investing in markets such as Brazil, Russia, India, China, Egypt, Vietnam, these are critical markets for our future growth.
So will you be investing more in emerging markets than in developed markets?
No question about it, yes, because these markets are growing. Developed markets today, unfortunately, are not growing fast enough. We're always going to be investing in developed markets, but the scale of investment in emerging markets is certainly going to be much more in terms of growth.
West Africa is currently one of the world's most promising regions for exploration. We already have 2 drilling rigs undertaking very active exploration work there, and we hope that our work in West Africa will bring positive results. In Iraq, we already started the real work at West Kurna oil field. We've already had tenders for drilling exploration wells there. Now we're building all the infrastructure needed for the oil production proper. we believe that we are very competitive in Iraq now. We established very good relations both with the Southern Oil Company and with the Oil Ministry. So we have a potential to expand our activities in Iraq. We're preparing for the next round of tenders to be held by the government of Iraq. As for Kazakhstan, we think those significant projects that we already take part in there, and our company has invested more than $5 billion in Kazakhstan, are enough.
A lot of politics being played at the moment after the nomination of Prime Minister Putin to be the next president. I think Kudrin's resignation so quickly will come as a surprise to the markets, and I think it'll be taken quite badly.
Is the public discord? Is it an open warfare now?
I think that now actually the politics
Russian
really
Railways
begin.
is the country's biggest employer and is often seen as a barometer for the Russian economy as a whole. And its chief executive, Vladimir Yakunin, is seen very close to Prime Minister Vladimir Putin, who will return as president next year. Vladimir Yakunin has joined me now. Mr. Yakunin, thank you for talking to us. What will Russia look like during Vladimir Putin's next presidential term or even two?
Listen, firstly, I am so mature that I am close not only to Mr. Putin, but